Hey YouTube, and we're gonna do a creepypasta reading, named Spongecry.avi. Now I just want to tell you guys that we may be reading some creepypastas that are like, lost episode kind of stuff, like theme, because I'm all about them lost episode creepypastas. But, let's just get into this thing. Ignore that voice crack. Cue music. Remember those old SpongeBob episodes which some of us used to watch in 1999 from season 1? Well, recently a secret episode has been discovered from that time period. The other day I was searching through my computer when I came across a notepad document deep within System 32. Having no idea how it got there, I scanned it for viruses. It had one Trojan in it. I deleted it and opened it up. All that was printed was one website link followed by the following gibberish: Akladjao4F. Having not a single clue what it meant, I continued by putting the site link, which I won't tell you in case anyone out there is freaking stupid enough to try it, into my web browser. It took me to a site where there was a black background and a huge button. It had the same text on it that was in the notepad document. I clicked it and brought it up with a download link. The file wanted to be downloaded was called Spongecry.avi. As crazy as I am, I went ahead and downloaded it. Big mistake. The second the download finished, which was 4.6 megabytes, my computer made the weirdest sound ever and turned off. As I tried to reboot it, nothing happened. The file must have destroyed my computer. As upset as I was, I realized I was on my old PC. I hopped over on my Mac and re-downloaded it. This time there was no problem. What was downloaded was the single AVI file. I played it. The movie clip was 6 minutes and 4 seconds long. It started out as any SpongeBob episode would, except the color was distorted, and when he got to playing the flute with his nose, it immediately went to the title screen. All that was on the title screen was the following words: SpongeBob Cry. Only there wasn't any jaunty music like there usually was. It lasted about 2.5 seconds. It didn't show who the writers and directors were. I just assumed that whoever put it online had edited it for time or something. The episode started out inside SpongeBob's house. It showed SpongeBob sitting in his red chair. The strange thing was, all of the other furniture was gone. SpongeBob was crying very hard, but it didn't sound anything like it does when SpongeBob normally cries. It sounded like a real human cry, but it was still different. It sounded so real and intense. SpongeBob was absolutely bawling. He was ripping chunks out of the chair. Then the camera zoomed really close in on his face, but it is the kind of zoom as if it was being taped by a real person. Then the camera zoomed out to show a rotting corpse of Gary laying on the floor in front of him. It was very disturbing. Gary was absolutely mauled to death. His eyes were laying on the floor. His shell was cracked to reveal a very gross image of the inside of Gary, which looked a whole lot more like what would have really happened in the episode where Gary loses his shell. The camera was moving around like crazy. SpongeBob suddenly got out of his chair and ran straight forward. Then the episode stops moving for about 1 second and then goes to black for 2 seconds. Then it comes back with SpongeBob's face pressed against the camera, with his mouth exploded open and eyes black, and a deafeningly loud scream. I jolt up and turn my volume down, and then the camera starts moving around like insanity. You can't even tell what's going on. It was worse than anything Pokemon could ever put out. The clip then goes to black for 1 minute and 38 seconds. It comes back inside the Krusty Krab dead silent. All of a sudden, the same face that was pressed against the camera appeared. This time, the scream was literally deafeningly loud, but it only lasted for about 1/4 of a second. Then, for the rest of the movie, it goes back to SpongeBob crying in the chair. But after every 10 seconds, SpongeBob gets just a little bit more decayed, and the sound gets a little more distorted. By the end, all there is left is static and screaming. Then you can see SpongeBob running again in the background of the static. But for the last 4 seconds, there is text on the screen that reads, "Open, on timed action will be badly. One-timed action will be badly." Exactly that, as if it was written by a preschooler. After this clip finished, my computer shut down. After seeing this video, I have never been the same. I've been angrier, crueler, and more anxious than ever before. It has haunted my mind all the time. I regret downloading the video in the first place. I wish I could just go back and TI F4